clock at 5. Rondo fakes, scoops, and he puts it in. What a play from Rajon Rondo. 17 points for Rondo to go with 5 assists. Garnett guarding Carter, spinning, falling away. And Pierce with a rebound. Rebounding numbers tonight have been pretty close to Orlando by 3. Allen to the basket, blocked for the foul. And Ray Allen will shoot 2. Let's take another look at Rondo. What a pretty move.
Taking them to the streets. Excuse me. Everybody go to the left. The ability to make that play and still finish.
We'll take a timeout. 4 minutes gone by here in the third. Celtics by 2.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by Land Rover. Why get a car when you can own a Land Rover? And Nikon. Check out the ultra-compact and easy-to-use Nikon D3000.
Third quarter of Game 2. Boston leading Orlando by 2. Joe DeRosa, the veteran official and crew chief, here tonight in his 18th year. An unusual thing happened right at halftime as the teams went to the locker room. DeRosa going over to the scores table to get their jackets, along with the other officials who blow it up for you so you can see it. You see DeRosa picks up the ball. They usually hand it to the scores table. There's a fan right behind really giving him an earful. DeRosa throws him the ball. The fan throws it back. And then Joe DeRosa looked to the security and said, throw the guy out. The NBA has told us that the whole situation will be reviewed after the game. The fan was obviously getting on him, and Joe DeRosa throwing the ball at him.
Listen, I have as much respect for Joe DeRosa as anybody that officiates. He didn't handle that right. But in no way should that impact him refereeing going forward in the playoffs. And I don't know how they do their discipline, but the fan also should not be ejected for throwing it back after Joe threw it at him either.
But I will say this. Do whatever you would do if it was Rasheed Wallace or another player or a player on the floor or a coach that did that same thing. By no means should Joe DeRosa miss the rest of the way.
My thing on that is, I think at times we have to expect more from fans. Just because you buy a ticket doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want.
Couldn't agree more. As Gortat gets it out, shot clock at 3. Jameer Nelson's going to have to fire it up. Back of the rim won't go, and Davis clears out his own teammates to get the rebound. Garnett been quiet so far offensively in the series. Not that time. His second field goal, the lead for the Celtics is 5.
It's now.
And Carter's shaken up, holding on to his left wrist.
He slipped right where Rondo fell, and this is where you have to do a better job from a crew staff under the basket of wiping that up.
You see the concern. Stan Van Gundy, they're going to call a 20-second timeout.
20-second timeout, Orlando.
Carter just holding that left arm off to the side. Let's take a look at the play again, pointing to that left hand. Yeah, that's the slip, Jeff, and then puts that left hand to brace his fall. Well, he's obviously in a lot of discomfort. And just holding it there, a little limp on the left side. So they'll attend to Carter. And just going down the floor and slip. You wonder if he's fortunate his knee, the way his knee buckled there. But that doesn't seem to be bothering him.
And right now, the Magic are in a heap of trouble. Because Rashard Lewis is not giving him anything. Howard has 4 fouls. Carter out. Nelson struggling. I don't care how hard you compete in this league. If you cannot score, eventually you're going to be very frustrated.
And it's tough enough scoring against the Celtic defense. which for 4 straight games has not allowed their opponent 90. It's been a big part of this 4-game playoff winning streak. Redick is in. Again, Redick has been superb off the bench so far in a game and a half in this series. Howard back to Redick. Had an opening, finds it. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Magic ball. J.J. Redick in that first half, 11 points off the bench.
And I like Dwight Howard being back in the game right now. 4 fouls or not, you have no chance to score enough to win the way Rashard Lewis is playing if you're not going to your best players right now.
I think it's going to be important for Dwight Howard to be smart also. You don't want to get caught up in getting an offensive foul.
Barnes misses. Garnett the rebound. The Magic 4 of 10 from downtown. Such a huge part of their game and their success during the regular season. It's a big part of the Celtics' defensive game plan is to stop the 3. Garnett gets it deep. High backer won't go. And Jameer Nelson amongst the Giants. Nelson penetrates, gets inside. Layup won't go. Garnett has it. Here come the Celtics the other way. Rondo on the drive. Garnett the trailer inside the Davis. And a foul call. It's going to go against Gortat. 3 on Gortat.
A foul on number 13, Marcin Gortat. His 3rd penalty situation.
Again, the nice ball movement for the Celtics.
Davis shooting 2.
Not a lot there in what's been a physical game. So Davis to the free throw line. And Davis didn't have an easy time early in the season. Broke his thumb. Missed the first 27 games. Even in the offseason was a problem for him when they signed Rasheed Wallace. He thought after last year's playoffs when he played so well with Garnett out with the injury, he'd have the big minutes. Well, with the signing of Wallace, didn't play as much. But still hung in there, had some good moments. He's had some very good playoff games. He's doing what Doc Rivers wants him to do. He's rebounding, he's playing tough defense, occasionally scoring. The lead is back to 7 on this 9-0 run. And defensive 3 seconds call against Boston. And the defensive 3-second rule, for those who haven't watched a lot of the NBA, you have to be within guarding distance of your man if you're in the paint. You can't stay in the paint defensively for more than 3 seconds unless you're in guarding distance of the man. And as Redick knocks down the technical free throw, Carter will return. So apparently he's okay. Sigh of relief for the Magic fans. We're midway through the 3rd. The Magic down by 6. Davis and Howard going at it. Carter is fouled by Pierce. And that's Pierce's 3rd foul. Celtics 14th foul. That has been a good physical game from the start.
Man, that floor must be wet right now. Everybody seems to be losing balance and slipping. And
well, we've talked about it's warm in this arena and a lot of sweat. And the ball boys try and do as much as they can to get out there and clean it up in between possessions. Meanwhile, they call that last foul on Rondo. What's that little dance move there from Big Baby Davis? Rondo has 2 fouls. Magic haven't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes. Howard takes his time, gets in left-handed. Won't go. Davis the rebound after good defense.
that was a good move, good offensive sequence, but a very poor finish. It was a very disjointed finish.
He flipped it up at the basket.
We actually call that $1 million move and a $5 finish.
Garnett finishes there, and the Celtics back up by 8. An 11-1 run.